is Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa. The story of resurgent and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel. Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa.
Greetings, viewers across the continent and beyond. You're tuned into Pulse of Africa News, live from Addis Ababa, Africa's diplomatic home. I am Magdalite Naga, and we're here with the stories that matter. Don't go anywhere today. We begin with Rwanda. Rwandan President Paul Kagame on Thursday called for a renewed commitment to self-reliance and accelerated national development. As the African country convened the 20th National Dialogue Council opening the dialogue, Kagame said Rwanda has made measurable progress but must move faster to meet its long-term ambitions. For a country like ours, considering both the challenges we face and the opportunities available to us, that progress is not sufficient, Kagame said. We must take a bigger step forward than the one that we have already made, and we must maintain consistency. Kagame called on leaders at all levels to strengthen accountability and responsibility in public services, stressing that accountability should be enforced promptly across local government and national institutions to ensure effective service delivery. He underlined self-reliance as a central pillar of Rwanda's development strategy, urging citizens to take collective responsibility for the country's future, stressing that national dignity and quality among nations should remain guiding principles. During the event, Prime Minister Justin Nzogombe presented a report on the implementations of the second national strategy for transformation. According to Nsagumuva, economic expansion continued in 2025, with growth averaging 8% across the first 3 quarters. This shows us that our country economy continues to grow at a good rate, giving us hope that we will achieve the goals we have set, he added. The dialogue, locally known as Umushakyaro, runs through Friday in the Rwandan's capital, Kigali. It has gathered members of the cabinet and parliament, representatives of the private sector, the diplomatic community, local government leaders, and Rwandans from home and abroad for discussions focused on Rwandan's transformation agenda, economic progress, governance, and citizen engagements. Burkina Faso reported significant progress in implementing its 2025 digital development objectives. The Ministry of Digital Transformation, Posts and Electronic Communications achieved a 9.1% completion rate. The government said during a review session chaired by Prime Minister Remita Jean Emmanuel Idrugo on February 3rd, the ministry described 2025 as a pivotal year for digital transition. It connected 370 new localities to telecom networks, giving residents their first access to phone and internet services, and reducing the digital divide. Authorities also accelerated public administration modernization. The developed 27 online service platforms with 146 already operational, facilitating citizens and business access to government services. In addition, the government and La Poste signed an agreement to build 20 Zamate citizen centers, targeting vulnerable populations to improve digital inclusions. For 2026, the ministry plans to build on these gains. It will implement a unique electronic identification system, aiming to enroll 7 million people by year end. Officials also plan to extend telecom coverage to 750 additional localities, establishing a dedicated government network and develop national messaging and collaboration tools. The ministry inaugurated a digital infrastructure supervision center in January 2026 to strengthen cybersecurity and manage critical systems. The African Continental Free Trade Area, AFCFTA, is one of the world's largest free trade zones, uniting 55 nations and about 1.3 billion people across the continent. Implementation advances include streamlined customs, digital protocol, and Pan-African payment system, which reduces costs and boosts local industries. Rise in trade volume and industrial linkage shows the potential to forecast self-reliance and prosperity across the continent. Ongoing efforts addresses barriers and maximize benefit, and all African leaders will focus on extraction and implementation. On the 39th Ordinary Assembly of the African Union from February 14th to 15th, right here in Addis Ababa. And Pulse of Africa will be telling you the economical empowerment. Make sure to stay with us and tune in.
Cleaner cities are creating healthier, safer, and more livable communities in Ethiopia. Every small change makes a big difference.
The cost of restoring Mozambique's road network after recent flood is estimated at about $3.5 billion. Transport and Logistics Minister João Malbotti said the government had approved an initial $1.2 billion emergency plan in 2025 to rehabilitate several sections of the main north-south highway, National Road 1, as well as regional roads. However, given the recent damage, the total cost of repair the network now stands at $3.5 billion. He said adding the parts of the rail network were also damaged and will require additional repairs. The United Nations said heavy rains over several days damaged more than 5,000 kilometers of road across 9 provinces. Among the affected infrastructure is the road linking the capital Maputo to the rest of the country, which has become impossible in some areas. The damaging has disrupted travel and supply chains in country, where road transport is the backbone of domestic trade. While emergency works have particularly restored traffic on some strategic routes, local media reported that several regions remain difficult to access due to damaged infrastructure. Beyond immediate humanitarian and logistic needs, the financial required highlights a structural challenge. Frequently hit by climate shocks, Mozambique spends a significant share of its resources rebuilding damaged infrastructure, limiting investment in network expansion. These constraints efforts to improve access to remote areas, strengthen economic integration, and improve transport corridors. Algeria has been elected by acclamation as vice chair of the Parliamentary Committee, PREPCOM, for the United Nations Conference of Parliamentarians on the Prevention and Punishment of Crime Against Humanity, representing the African group. The elections held at the United Nations headquarters in New York serves as a recognition of Algeria's active role and prominent standing on the international stage. It highlights the nation's commitment to promoting international justice, upholding international law, defending human rights, and supporting just causes globally. The committee is tasked with preparing for the United Nations Conference of Parliamentarians on the Prevention and Punishment of Crimes Against Humanity, scheduled for 2028 up to 2029. The ultimate objective is to drive a comprehensive international convention to prevent and punish crimes against humanity, including colonialism, slavery, apartheid, forced displacement, and other grave transgressions that undermine human dignity. Shifting to business news, we have First Bank DRC, a subsidiary of First Bank of Nigeria Holdings, launched its new digital banking application. The bank designed the app to strengthen its digital offering, aimed at growing competition from mobile financial services. The launch follows the bank's 2024 strategic plan, which prioritizes expansion of retail and digital banking services. First Bank DRC outlined its digital ambitions in its 2024 annual report. The bank aims to raise the share of revenue generated by digital products to 30% of total turnover. The bank highlighted remote accounts opening as the app's main innovation. The app allows users to open a First Bank DRC account without visiting a branch in less than 5 minutes. The bank designed this feature to simplify access to banking services and accelerate customer acquisition. Beyond remote account opening, First Money allows users to transfer money to other electronic wallets, including M-Pesa, Orange Money, and Airtel Money. The app also supports transfer within the First Bank ecosystem, including bank accounts and First Money wallets. The government of Cote d'Ivoire adopted 2 decrees during a cabinet meeting on Wednesday, February 4, granting mining permits for the Assafou and Doropo gold projects. The approvals clear the way for construction at both future mines in a country where annual gold production is expected to reach 100 tons by the next decades, up from 58 tons in 2024. Assafou is considered one of the next major gold mines in Cote d'Ivoire and is expected to enter the construction phase in the second half of 2026, according to its operator Endeavour Mining. At Doropo, Australian Honor Result Mining is targeting the start of construction in the first half of the year. In both cases, the timeline were conditional on obtaining mining permits. With permits now secured, the 2 companies can move ahead with the development of these assets, which are expected to strengthen the country's gold production capacity. According to a pre-feasibility study published in late 2024, Assafou could produce 329,000 ounces of gold annually during the first 10 years, with construction cost estimated at $734 million. Doropo is expected to produce an average of 170,000 ounces per year over a 13-year mine life, with total investment estimated at $516 million. Beyond their contribution to gold output and future revenues, the projects are also expected to have a significant impact on employment. Moving on to sport news. Nations FC forward Emmanuel Anner is expected to return to his parents' club to complete the current session following a successful trial with Moldovan Gains FC Sheriff. The highly rated attacker impressed during his assessment period with the Transpoli-based side, attracting strong interests and opening the door to a potential move abroad. However, despite positive feedbacks from the club's technical team, Anner will for now resume duties from Nations FC as negotiations between both parties continue. Sources close to the player have confirmed that discussions with FC Sheriff remain ongoing, and there is optimism that a permanent deal could still be reached in the near future. In the meantime, Anner is expected to focus on helping Nations FC achieving their targets for the remainder of the campaign. Contrary to widespread reports, the delay in finalizing the transfer is not related to financial difficulties. Claims suggesting that the move collapsed over monetary issues have been described as inaccurate and misleading. Officials at Nations AFC have reiterated their commitment to supporting Anner's development and potential move abroad, while also welcoming his return to strengthen the squad for the rest of the session. Ademola Lookman announced his arrival in Spanish football in emphatic fashion, marking his debut for Atletico de Madrid with a goal in their stunning 5-0 victory over Real Betis in the Copa del Rey quarter-finals on Thursday night. The Nigerian international was handed his first start by Diego Semigo and wasted no time in justifying the manager's faith, delivering a confident and composed performance that underlined his growth reputation as one of Africa's most exciting forwards. Atletico took early control of the contest, opening the scoring through David Hanko in the the 12th minute before Golanio doubled the lead on the half-hour mark. With Beatty struggling to cope with Atletico's intensity, Lookman made his mark in the 37th minute, calmly finishing after a well-weighed pass from Pablo Barros to put his new side firmly in command. The goal sparked celebrations among the traveling supporters who warmly welcomed their new signing and highlighted Lookman's instinctive movement and clinical edge inside the box. Atletico continued their dominance after the break, with Antonio Griezmann adding a fourth in the 62nd minute before the Thiago Almandi sealed the route late on the comprehensive with secured Siemens men a place in the semi-finals and sent a strong message to their domestic rivals. Lookman's debut goal adds to his impressive recent form and strengthens his calm for a central role at the club as the season progresses. Now let's check out the latest weather forecast across the continent. That's all for this hour. Thank you so much for being with us. Goodbye for now.